What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Johnny 5 Live here, and in this episode we're going to give our thoughts and opinions and review the Wasteland Wanderer pack for Fallout 4. So stay tuned to check it out. Alright, so in the last episode, if you haven't seen it yet, I just basically showed off everything you get with this pack. Now, is it worth it? For $5.50, you're getting a bunch of concrete pieces, you're getting a bunch of new lights, all sorts of little gimmicky things, the power generator, you know, some doors, door frames, and concrete pieces, lights, and the ability to plant crops. You know, there's a lot of stuff in here. And some people, you know, disagree that it's a lot, or some people say mods can do it better. You know, there's a lot of controversy on the topic of is it worth it, is it not? And, you know, in my honest opinion, $5 isn't that much. You're getting some nice stuff, like they've programmed these little enemies to spawn in here. They're basically spawn locations, and, you know, the battle bots is just telling people to aggro, so you can get this guy to aggro this guy and they fight. And it takes a lot of work for you to set it all up and make it work properly. And it's interesting, but, you know, it's a lot of it's like gimmicky, and, you know, there's a lot of interesting things, but in my opinion, this stuff probably should have been in the game by default. We're getting these DLC packs where it's like, okay, that's great, I wish that was there when I started playing. I've already put 400 hours into this game, and now you're giving me the stuff that I wish I had while I was playing the 400 hours, and it's pretty basic stuff: lights, concrete walls, doors, you know, like fire pits, fireplaces. Like, why was this stuff not talked about in the boardroom when they were thinking about what they wanted to make for these settlements? Or maybe if it was and they just, you know, they scrapped it or said we'll put it on the back burner for now. Well, I've already spent hundreds of hours building really crazy settlements, and I would have wished that I had these pieces when I started, and I would have made them even better, and they would have looked awesome. So, you know, and this kind of stuff, it's very basic. I mean, to come up with these kind of ideas, it's just something that I feel that should have been there from the beginning, really. Now, the extra additions of capturing creatures and having battle arenas, that stuff could have been a DLC pack, but they should have spent more time on it. Like, make it so you can bet on fights, and the settlers gather around and they cheer and scream and throw food at them, and, you know, there should have been more micromanagement there. They should have simmed it up a little bit more. Same with the taming of creatures. You should have had to go out in the wild and, like, drag them back or put a chain on them, then you can come back and cage them, and then you can tame them and level them up. I mean, that would have been a nice addition, a nice DLC pack where you're actually getting some mechanical functions to the game. But as in terms of all these pieces, they should have just been there from the start, in my opinion, and it wouldn't have hurt to release this game in the November of this year. And if is it worth your $5? If you're wondering that, if you came to watch this video to find out if you should spend the money on it. So for the value versus the objective on this, the value is $5. They give you a whole bunch of pieces, and the objective was to give you a new improved settlements. Well, you can't really make crazy new settlements. It's more like decorative. So in terms of, like, hey, making big giant shapes and new silhouettes and having new interesting unique looks to settlements, you're not really being able to make the bigger picture. So I feel like in objective terms of improving settlements, you didn't make it bigger, you made it more decorative. And then, you know, in terms of, like, mechanical things like the battle bots and making arenas, you're still going to be making the arenas with the old pieces. They didn't give us new arena pieces to do this with. So in terms of objective, I feel like they didn't hit their objective at all. But in terms of value, they give you quite a bit of stuff for $5. Overall, my final score for this is going to be a 5 out of 10. It's average. It's not great. It's not terrible. It's average. But as a Fallout fan myself, I recommend it, especially if you're on consoles. There's some pieces here that are ideal, that are absolutely worth it if you are into building settlements. So that's my review for Fallout 4 Wasteland Workshop. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and please remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.